past, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A
open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the sky.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Owlet Season 3.5 Award Show. It is going to be very exciting. I am going to be your host for tonight, Rainbow. Joining me in the Minors Division is going to be Final Gambit.
What's up, everybody?
It's from Odyssey Esports. And we have Hamwell here
How we doing, guys?
from the Fire Nation. So let's just talk real quick about the season in general. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts there.
Yeah, it was a really interesting season. I mean, we came into it a bit late, a couple games back from when things started, and I think we're just honestly really impressed with, not since you guys are kind of hosting this thing, sorry to suck up, but the organization is great. The production value is great. The competition has been great. So that's been really exciting for us. We've been in a couple different leagues where, some of those elements have been lacking. A lot of forfeit wins, quality of the team's not so great. So, all those things kind of being high quality here has been really great. And, we've had a pretty good season, pretty excited about where we netted out, particularly coming into it late. And I'm excited to get into it tonight because there's a lot of really talented players in this league. So kind of excited to unveil some of these winners tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So, Hamwell, what are your thoughts on just the season and everything before we get started?
Well, first off, it really was a lot of fun. It was great to be a part of Owlet this season. But shout out real quick to Odyssey, like the way you guys had to come in and play all your matches the way you did, like y'all handled it so well, and y'all did really well with it. So shout out to y'all. That's so true. How cool that was. But honestly, Fire Nation, as far as we were concerned, we were really just in it to learn. We knew we were going to be one of the lower SR teams in the division, and I thought we played really well. I thought we had some good moments as a team. We learned a lot about what we could improve on, and then got to kind of meet some great other teams, just in the scene, which we're still a very new team. We came together for Scrub Cup. Yeah, it was our first tournament together, and then we've just kind of been playing since then. So it was a lot of fun. But again, that was all just made possible by the fact that Owlet was so well run. It's definitely the best tournament I've been a part of, and I've been not trying to not even a humble brag, but it's like I've played in a lot of tournaments between console and PC at this point, despite kind of my youth and play style, I guess you could say. So it's just so cool to see a good tournament ran like this, and it was just awesome to be a part of, honestly.
Yeah, I love to hear the positive views. Definitely not paid for,
Nope, no financial incentive.
Although we'll take checks if you got them.
Yes, I'll put my PayPal in chat. Just hit me up.
But yeah, so we are going to be getting into our MVP awards here. So how voting worked, we sent out a form. We got about 150 votes, and people in each role selected their first, second, and third place votes, and they were awarded points accordingly. And once all those points were tallied up, we divvied them up into the Charlie, Bravo, and Alpha team. So Charlie is consisting of the 5th and 6th place in each role, and Bravos consist of 3rd and 4th, Alpha 1st and 2nd, and then we have our overall MVP. But yeah, so let's get into our Charlie team here. So our 5th and 6th place, and see who got that. So starting off here, we do have Nico from Road Warriors. So tell me a bit about Nico.
Well, Miko's she's an off-tank player. When I personally played against Road Warriors, Miko was on the Zarya a lot, and really just, Zarya is such an important hero, and really Miko just constantly got a ton of value out of Zarya. So just, really definitely a deserving addition to this All-Star Charlie team, just a solid off-tank player all around, and I'd, look forward to playing against her and the rest of Road Warriors in later tournaments.
Yep, and next for our fifth and sixth place, we have Nova from Koala Kings. So, Gambit, can you tell me a bit about Nova here?
Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to play against this team in the league, but from what I've read and seen, big plays. I mean, the guy just knows what he's doing. He knows where to be, how to use his ultimate at the right time. Just has big impact. So I think he's one of those folks where you're just going to see impact from him every single game. And you look at some of the clips that I think we'll get to at some point. It will show some of that.
Yeah, this is for the top players. We all have those clips there. And then we have Deja Vu from Vote Meme Today. No, she is really good. Farah actually ended up beating King in the Farah 1v1 we had during All-Stars. And can also, pull out the Tracer for stalls and does a really good job there as well. And Gambit, since you're from Odyssey, I'll let you tell me a bit about Zebra Cookie.
Zebra Cookie, my DPS brother from another mother. This guy, I play all of the Splody Boom Boom DPS that requires less aim, and Zebra is my partner, and he is a sick Widow. I think you saw that for most of the season. That's probably why he made it into this. His performance as Widow in the league has been excellent. He gets the picks. He knows where to be. He can win the Widow battles one-on-ones, but he's also an excellent flex DPS as well. He can pretty much play almost anything with a pretty competitive level. So he's a great partner for me as a DPS player who has a limited pool of heroes, because he can kind of flex based on the situation required. And if he is not contested on Widow, then look out, man. He can really pop some heads.
Yeah, moving on to our support here. Ham, I'll let you tell us a bit about Aqua from MSBY.
Well, yeah, it's really cool that just to see Aqua on here, because I've actually played with Aqua for years now. First starting out in console, and now playing against her on PC. So it's just really cool. She was my captain on one of the second ever console teams I played on. Shout out to Aristocracy. That was our team name. Yeah. And we played in the CGL league in console, and she was even then great leader, great captain, nutty Lucio player from the start. And just see her moving on to PC, moving on to bigger, better things, and to get recognized just for some of the great support play that she does is really awesome to see. So yeah, shout out Aqua. Good to see you up here, and yeah, congratulations.
And our last support here on the Charlie team is going to be E-Girl from Talonfire. Does a really great job on the Ana. I've had a joy watching him. He does a lot to really help out Talonfire. He's done a good job shutting people down with those sleeps and those really big antis he's able to get.
And well placed.
Play us. Sorry, what were you saying, Gambit?
I was going to say, and well-placed nanos as well. We faced Talonfire, really had to focus him down. Was making impact plays when we left him alone. So definitely got the full package on Ana.
Oh, he was a nightmare to play against. So true. So true. I remember it well. As you often do with a good Ana player as a main tank player, you tend to remember the good ones. And yeah, that was a frustrating game as main tank.
Yep. So congratulations to everyone on the Charlie team. You're now going to move over to the Bravo team and take a look at who got our third and fourth places in each of these roles. Starting off with Reed here on Velocity Force. Ham, I'll let you take that since you're also a main tank.
Absolutely, yeah. And Reed just really, I mean, you just look at how Velocity Force did this season. They had a really strong season, and you really have to, I mean, a lot of times that really falls down to the main tank role. And so Reed really just providing a great anchor for this team, especially in a season where the meta was so drastic. You were seeing main tanks on Roadhog, you were seeing main tanks on Winston, on Reinhardt. So you got to see a lot of variety, and just even with all that variety, Reed was pretty steadfast, consistently playing that main tank role. So yeah, just awesome, and a well-deserved addition to this Bravo team.
Yep. It has also come to my attention that the team listed for Stuff and Things is incorrect. And he's on Hyperion.
That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah, I was kind of curious, but I wasn't positive, and I didn't double check. So that's also personally, we wouldn't have been able to fix it. But so sorry for that error there. But so Gambit, can you talk a bit about stuff and things?
And since he wasn't on Road Warriors, which I played against, I did not play against Hyperion, so I unfortunately don't know anything about stuff and things. But I'm sure if he's made it this far, he's a talented tank.
Okay, well, Hemel, do you want to also talk about stuff and things then?
Yeah, sure, definitely. No, I remember Stuff and Things, as I recall, was playing. I want to say was playing some Reinhardt and Winston. Was also playing main tank. I could be wrong. Hyperion was we played them twice. We played them in preseason, and then we played them, I believe, the second game of the season. So it was very early on for us. But I mean, same kind of goes for Velocity Force as for Hyperion, basically, where I mean the tank role is so important to having. I like to equate it to like your rhythm, your drums and bass in a great band. You got to have that center, that low end backing everything up, securing everything, and that's kind of what your tank line does. And so Stuff and Things providing the base basically for a really strong Hyperion team.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to describe it. We're going to move on to Cyberspace from Koala Kings. I know they had a really good Sombra, but is there any more you can tell us, Gambit?
The Sombra plays are really what I saw in clips. Again, this is a team that we didn't play this season. So that's pretty much all I got for you on that front. But great time to be a Sombra player, given the way that the meta is shifting. So kind of scary going into playoffs.
Yeah, I know that they also can pull out a good May occasionally as well if they're, doing that more Rein-Zarya kind of composition. Next, we're going to move on to the King from MSBY Black Jackals.
This guy, oh man, beast far. I mean, it's interesting. When we played against these guys, it completely shifted the dynamic of how we needed to play. And I think that's what's crazy about a good FAR player, right? Like it forces the other team into a composition, especially DPS wise, that they may not be comfortable in to deal with that situation. And he's got the talent to do that. So I think his play is kind of pushes people into that kind of more uncomfortable position. And you've seen it in some of the clips that have coming around the league.
Yeah, and I've Bizzle, I think, pointed out in chat that both Cyberspace and the King have been around since Owlet Season 1. So if I'm going to be around so long, I don't think King's gotten recognition. Or no, he got recognition last season. Yeah, it's DPS MVP. But, Cyber getting some recognition this season. It's really great to see them still, hanging around and putting that work in. So moving on to Lissaru from Hyperion. Hemel, you were talking about her impressive brig play, so I'll let you talk about some more.
Well, yeah, it's funny. That's actually very fitting too. With Stuff and Things also playing on Hyperion. I mentioned earlier that they were early. That was a team we played pretty frequently early on in the season, but the name Lissaru still lingers in my brain just strictly because it made playing Reinhardt against a Reinhardt supported by Lissaru just it made it so hard to do anything against that Reinhardt. It was so frustrating. And as a support player playing Brig, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So Lissaru, I mean, just phenomenal Brig player, obviously solid on other support roles. But I mean, that Brig play is just what sticks out to me because it literally made playing the Rein v Rein battle so just I almost want to say impossible. Like it was just that difficult. So big shout out there, just impressive work all around.
Yeah, and then we have Pog from Koala Kings. I mainly just remember from like one of the games I casted, Pog just kept pulling off these amazing reses, just like in the enemy backline, gets a res off and is able to turn the fight around. So it definitely, I know, has some great mercy plays. Is there anything else you guys can talk about here with Pog?
Well, I am a bit familiar with Pog just from some other leagues that I take part in, where a lot of the Koala Kings and Bandicoots members are also a part of. And that just is kind of true to the norm. I mean, it's in one league as so the other, basically, because Pog is pretty well known throughout Flux Cup for those big support plays as well. So it's just good to see that the names kind of carry on throughout these other leagues, other tournaments, and you start seeing this sort of rise of players. And Pog's no exception to the rule there.
Yeah, it's always fun to see people just in one tournament, and then you go to a different tournament, and they're also there.
And also popping off too, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, yep. And so you start looking out for them too in subsequent tournaments, and the teams they're on and stuff, and it starts building these rivalries, even at like the minors level, and even at your quote unquote lower SR levels and stuff like that. So that's really fun to see. Like I love to see it, you know, and to be a part of it as a player in minors.
Yep. And so now I believe we are going to show a video showcasing our alpha team here and get some amazing clips from them. So I will let our producer take it away with that.
I'm pumped for this. I just gotta be honest. I'm pumped.
It's going to be great.
And a monkey here early. Reed also has that primal rage. He uses it, but gets insta-swept. Oh, but he gets woken up and kills two. Goes a long way in this game.
What also goes a long way is a dashing Genji with a nano boost and a Dragon Blade sweeping through three, just joking. It's an absolute monster.
Using their whole hog to clear a little bit of space and maybe shut down the bomb, but they can't survive for long enough. Jazz will get burned down as the bomb, the backline bomb! The friendly robot butler, not so friendly, gets forward! Use one bomb! Bomb!
Yeah, it looks like Oakley here just sort of wrapping around Warren actually gets an early kill here. As it looks like the Hero not being able to find anything right now. Looks like Oakley did, as I say that, down to Glorious, and now the Widow's already flanking on the side. Skyops actually takes down Sucker King, but initial point here will go to Ignis Academy, and what another great shot there by Oakley as it...
Yes, those were some amazing clips. I especially loved how Cloud Talk sent in the text perspective on getting slept. I think that was my favorite part. But so also, yes, I did not clarify something. So we do have that video was the top 7 because our MVP is going to be separate from our role MVPs. So you know they don't take home more awards from more people. But
Spread the love around.
Yeah, I gotta spread the love. But yeah, so let's get started on our on our alpha team here. So just get started with Emmy. I mean, Emmy's amazing diva, has amazing bombs for MSBY, and I think definitely being able to play that diva is what's helping them kind of get this that boost towards the end of the regular season. So I'm definitely a big part of that.
Yeah, they were a nightmare to play against. This was our last match before playoffs, and Emmy had a huge impact. I mean, crazy bombs in a time when you don't normally see, 2, 3, 4 diva bombs consistently. Knows where it needs to be at all times, protecting teammates at the right times. It's just really, really strong diva play. And Zarya is not bad either. You saw some clips in that as well. Good grabs and really sharp aim with the beam weapon too.
Yeah, that's really crazy too, because my team played MSBY like right before Odyssey. Like we were the match right before y'all. And really that's so we were playing against this team as they were really heating up towards the end of the season, and seeing it firsthand. I mean, a lot of it I think really has to do with just some great performance from Emmy. So, I mean, to see it in the highlights, it gives me almost a little validation, because it seems like that was happening to teams all season, because I'll tell you, that was frustrating to play against, just as a player.
Yeah, so next we are going to talk about War and Peace. As a player for Vote Meme today, is that main tank role, does a really great job on Reinhardt. We saw a lot of him last season as well on the Orisa for Happy Squids. Yeah, and it's doing a great job on the Reinhardt, on the Monkey more recently.
Very consistent,
yeah.
Ryan. Watching him, and we had some pretty awesome duels with our Ryan Hilton, when we played them, and that was just fun to watch. I didn't play that match, but watching the VODs, like the two of them were just back and forth constantly. But he's very consistent. He's good positioning, knows where he needs to be, and occasionally gets those, as we saw in some of the clips, the 3-4 and full team shatters, which could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, I had a really great Ryan battle against War and Peace as well, playing with the Fire Nation on King's Row against Vote Meme today. And honestly, the thing that got me most about Warren is just the fact, as y'all are talking about, his consistency. And basically, to me, what that really meant in game was that some of these, call them more gimmicky, shatters and moves, the stuff you learn on Reinhardt to try and kind of get the upper hand and stuff. Some of those more gimmicky sort of plays don't really work on Warren, just because just good consistent positioning, just good awareness. And so the only way to beat Warren is just to be an outright better tank player. And that's pretty tough to do. So all in all, I mean, just a pleasure to play against a tough competitor, and happy to see him up there on this list.
Yeah, for sure. And we are going to now move on to our DPS, Oakley from Hyperion. You guys will be able to tell me a bit more. I just remember towards the earlier season, Oakley pulling out a lot of Symmetra, actually. That's the main thing I remember. But did a really great job with it and pulled out some of those more like actually skilled plays on Symmetra. I know it's not a word you typically associate, but yeah, so I'll let you guys tell me a bit more on Oakley there.
Well, I'll put it this way: the best compliment I can give to a defensive to a DPS player that's not on my team is basically if I say I hate them. And I'll be honest, I hate Oakley. I hate Oakley because he's just so oppressive to play against. One, because I saw a lot of Sombra play from him, and obviously Sombra is oppressive, and yeah, that's true. But he punishes all your bad positioning from his hit scan rolls. I mean, his bobs are always on point as well. When he's on the Ashe, his Widowmaker top notch. I mean, that's the thing, is it's almost like having a Roadhog for your DPS slot, because he's going to basically one hit kill anybody out of position, and that's I mean, so like I said, I hate Oakley in the best way possible.
Scary proposition.
But yeah, so we get on to Sempra, aka Just Joe King, in game from Velocity Force. I think the only minors player who actually rang for a majors game in that season, playing for Velocity University, and I think they did really well in that game as well. So has a really great Ashe, can pull out a great Widow as well. So it's overall really good hit scan and pretty terrifying play against, I imagine.
Yeah, I think you're. Oh, go ahead, Ammo.
No, I went first last time, Gambit. This is your turn.
That was my last one I can comment on, since I haven't played with the other teams. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing about a really strong hit scan player, particularly one that can flex to other classes. But hit scan who can punish you for being out of position or can win those duels consistently is really, really scary. And that's Sempra. I mean, that's the game that they play. So it's really not surprised to see the name here.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I think that's cool is kind of just a testament to Sempra's just level of play is the fact that, as you said, ringing in a majors match and doing well, pulling their weight, and that just demonstrates all these 6 players that you bring in for an Overwatch match, they all have to fit into a team. They all fit into this system. And when you understand that, once you get that understanding, regardless of the rank you are, you can, fit into that system even at higher ranks. And I think that bodes well for Simpra as an up and coming player, and definitely someone we're going to see possibly not on this minors list in hopefully subsequent Owlet tournaments. I'm throwing that out there because I want them. But I think we'll see a great majors player coming out of Simpra here in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with that structure to move up to university team. Yeah, so moving on to another Velocity Force player, we have Clown Dog, who had those amazing sleeps as we saw in the montage. Just overall, really great Ana player. It's looking really good. So, Gammon, I guess I'll let you also.
All I have to add is that was my favorite of that fantastic montage was the sleep on
that was the best to close it on. That was the ultimate closer. Yeah, and it threw me off for a minute too, because I was like, wait, why are we watching a tank clip for a support player? And then it all became clear, and I was like, oh, that's why. Okay. Okay. But I mean, that's one of those ones where it's like just look at, all you have to do is look at the tape on Clown Dog, basically, and the proof is in the pudding, as it were. And so I mean, that's all you, that's Clown Dog, basically. That's all you could say, Clown Dog.
Also, some fun facts coming in from the university players. Apparently, Clown Dog once beat Sempra in a Widow 1v1, which I just must say is beautiful. Love to see it. You gotta
watch out for them supports. Those supports, they get a lot of pent-up aggression from constantly being dove on, constantly being attacked on. You put them on a Widow, they're gonna come out with a little bit of bloodlust, So I mean, I got to admit, I'm not that surprised. You got to watch out for the support players.
Yeah, and then our last one we're going to be talking about here on the Alpha team is Aresh Gagal from Vote Meme Today. Another one of those just great Ana players. Is really great at supporting the two main tanks out on that team in Warren and Jackson Moon. So overall, pretty well rounded at just keeping the team up and going.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you got to look at it this way too. It's no surprise when you see a tank player for Vote Meme Today on the Alpha team. It's really no surprise to see a support player from Vote Meme Today as well, just because, I mean, those two go hand in hand. And I mean, even I have to point it out, one of the highlights is actually against Fire Nation on the Kings Row match I was talking about with War and Peace. And just seeing Aresh Gagal playing BAP there, I mean, just getting a ton of value, great positioning, great awareness of the hero, and moreover, one of the best captains, managers, leaders, whatever you want to call the role, one of the best to work with, just as a fellow captain manager of a team. Just got to give a shout out there. Just on the map, off the map, I don't know how else to put that really, but regardless, always just a top notch person all around, and you love to see that.
Yeah, and I also just want to mention how Warren and Arish have also both been around since season 1, like King and Cyber were. It's so great to see minors players just sticking around, but
and being number 1 now, that's awesome.
Best of the best, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Proof, more proof right there.
But yes, we are going to move on to the role MVP specifically. So these were given in just alphabetical order. So you're going to actually see who is the number 1 here. So the tank MVP is going to be Emmy from MSBY Black Jackals. So congratulations to Emmy. The tank runner up there is going to be Reed from Velocity Force. Our DPS MVP is going to be Sempra from Velocity Force, with DPS runner-up being Oakley from Hyperion. Support MVP is Clown Dog from Velocity Force, with the runner-up being Aresh Gagal from Vote Meme Today. So congratulations to all those players on getting the role MVPs.
Well deserved. Top-notch performances from all of them this season.
Heck of a list on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge list.
And now, quick drum roll. This is what you've all been waiting for. It is the overall MVP for the Minors division is going to be Warren Peace from Vote Meme Today. Gotta love the dude. Definitely deserves it. Really just a positive force in this community overall. There's I don't think there's a single person who hates him, and I don't think he hates a single person. So it works out very well.
Yes, well deserved, and gotta give it up. The main tank player getting the MVP. That's what you love to see. That's the way it should be. Main tank difference, MVP. Great job, War and Peace.
Yeah, when a good personality goes with the good skills, that's just great to see. And obviously, as you said, a lot of longevity here in the league. So always good to see a longtime member of the community being recognized.
Yep, definitely looking forward to seeing Warren as he continues on in the future of his competitive playing, and just overall see where he goes. Really nice to see him getting the MVP for this season. But overall, I think that is it we have for the minors division here. So any final thoughts from you guys before we go to a break for the majors division?
Well, I just got to say, it's been such a great season. It's been so fun getting to meet all the people in this community, whether talking about setting up matches, whatever it may be, just talking to all of you. It's been great to get to know you. I look forward to playing with and against all of you in the future. And yeah, just thanks for being a part of a great season, both administratively, players, all of it. Just so much fun. So thank you.
I think Hamwell covered all of the same things I was going to say, but also
that's why I went first.
That's right. Always go first. That's your lesson, folks. But for playoffs, just do want to say pass it along to all those teams that we're going to be playing. Good luck and have fun. And danger close, baby. Watch out for them boom booms.
Okay. But yeah, so we are going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back with the Majors Division Awards.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I don't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay or be alive?
You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Casting on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me can make
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
And welcome back to the Owlet Season 3.5 Awards Show. We are here with the Majors Division, and I have my two lovely guests here. Hyper Knight
Hello.
is from Crusaders, and we have Sloth here as well.
Hello, hello.
Is from Velocity University. But yeah, so super excited to talk about the Majors Division here. We kind of already an explanation, demonstration of how everything's going to be set up. So just real quick, kind of get your quick retrospective on the season. We'll start with you, Hyper.
Okay, so I've kind of gone into the story a little bit, but I was contacted by one of my former Outcast teammates to potentially, be brought aware of the fact that Owlet was coming back for a season 3.5. So I was like, all right, I'll go for it. I was too high to compete, but I decided that I wanted to, make a team that didn't have the structural integrity of the Outcast last season. I didn't want people to suffer, so I wanted to build a team, and it came together a little rocky at first. There was definitely a learning curve in learning how to manage and coach, but now I can safely say that it was a very fun experience, and I'm very lucky with the team I was able to put together, and especially such a short amount of time. And it's been a fantastic and wild season, and an exciting season for sure.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And definitely, it's improved upon the Outcast. That is for sure.
That's not hard, but
But yeah, Sloth will kind of get your quick retrospective on the season here.
This season has been okay. So, Uni is this is our second tournament. Like in overall in general. So our manager just told us like, hey, there's this other tournament coming up. I was like, sure. We planned. Yeah, we were just sure. We're like, okay, we're gonna go in the tournament. We had no idea what we were going into or what was gonna go on, right? And when we were signing up, we were going to be in minors, right? But we had like three people that are above the bar, right? And yeah, we had to be in majors, and we did not feel confident. But it turned out well. Okay, I'm looking at the chat right now, and I'm stuttering a lot, dude. Oh no. Okay, but
You're all
yeah,
good.
so we go into majors, right? We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea what the teams are, but we go in, we give it our best, and then we end up making playoffs, dude. And yeah, I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah, you're making playoffs and predict the teams are gonna win playoffs, right? That's how that goes.
That's the plan. Yeah, I'm a closed chat. They're just bullying me. All right, there we go. It's closed.
But yeah, so we are having voting place. We're going to be looking here at the Charlie team, which is the 5th and 6th place for each role. Super excited to see who it's going to be. And we do have, to start off here, Clutch Caliber from Crusaders. So obviously, I'm going to pass that off to you, Hyper Knight, to talk about him.
You gonna make me talk about this feeder? Okay.
This the awards were nice here.
Yeah. Clutch is actually one of the first people that I contacted about coming to play on the Crusaders. We used to play on a team together, and he's been a good presence, and he's been getting, and he continually strives to improve, and that's something I really respect about Clutch. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna also talk here about Vantage here from Bandicoots or Bandicoots. It's
yes.
always still hard to pronounce.
Another tank, specifically more of a main tank. There's a lot of Ryan and Winston from what I recall, and he was, if I recall correctly, he was pretty good. Got the advantage on Clutch and Paper a couple of times in our match. It was a really good match. And then I looked at the team card, and apparently he's top 500 in open queue. So, respect to actually, playing 50 games of open queue to get to the point.
That's the real challenge in getting into top 500.
That's the real challenge there.
Yeah, so we are going to, we're going to move on to DPS, which is C. Ronaldo, also from Crusaders. I know he got overall MVP season 2 of minors, so it's exciting to see him back here in the All-Stars.
I know people might say like a little bit of a meme pick, and fair, he didn't play as much, but he honestly provided a great role on the team. He was always there for scrims. He was always a presence, like willing to do basically whatever the team needed, and that's why we wanted to honor him with an All-Star spot on the team. He played some off-tank games for us against Commitment. He stepped in on DPS in our reverse sweep against Odyssey. He was just all kind of doing a little bit of everything, and that's was really appreciated. And he's one of the best shot callers, I think, on the team, which is strange from the DPS position.
Yeah, for sure. So we are going. The next DPS here is going to be a repeat from Bandit Coots. Definitely got that 2 Bandicoots, 2 Crusaders there. So Sloth, you were going to talk about repeat here.
Yeah. Repeat. So we played against Bandicoots once, and repeat was he was solid. I actually went back on some of the VODs, not when I played against him, but other games they had, and actually learned from his Genji, because I started picking up Genji. And I didn't know where to start. I just went, YouTube. I looked at games and how people actually played, and he was one of the people I looked at on how to actually pick up Genji. Really solid guy.
Nice. Love to see that. And so now we have Brewer talk about from Velocity University.
yeah.
So one of your teammates there.
So Brewer actually moved up from Velocity Force and actually getting moved on to the Uni team when it was first formed. And the absolute most cracked Lucio in the entire Owlet like scene, dude. This man, when we have problems with the Widow or any sniper, we just tell him to go into the back line and just deal with it, and he does like 9 times out of 10, or he feeds. But yeah, great guy.
And now we have Zephyr from Odyssey. It's going to be Hybrid Knight. You're going to talk about him.
I recall Zephyr ringing not only for like a number of teams, but specifically Odyssey a number of times, and then actually joined the Odyssey roster. And I thought that's a very interesting story where like, a player rings multiple times and then gets added to a roster. I think that's really great that Zephyr was able to do that and join the team. And I look forward to potentially seeing if, you know, how they might be doing in playoffs and if Zephyr can be a big part of that.
Yeah, see if they can beat Velocity University, current favorite in that matchup. But yeah, so we're now going to move over here to the Bravo teams. This is going to be 3rd and 4th places for each of these roles. So you now get to see who all of them are. We're going to get started here with Dave Striker, another one of your teammates there, Sloth.
Yes, Dave. We have a very sort of rough history with Dave. He's been through a lot. He's come far. He used to be the most toxic, tilting person out there. Like, one team fight doesn't go well, and this man loses his shit, right? but we fixed it. Now he's now our IGL. He makes strats on the spot, on the go, and he's a key part to our success at the moment.
Yeah, awesome. Now we have Zim. Is no longer on Odyssey, but was on Odyssey throughout the entirety of the regular season. So we can talk about him there. Was main tank for that team.
Yeah, main tank, also played off tank, classified self as a flex tank. And I think it's pretty safe to say, in my personal opinion, whenever I look at Odyssey, Zim is always there doing the work that needs to be done. Zim is always the one that is going in, getting the picks, and just slapping the enemy team around on main tank. And that's, depending on the matchup, can be very difficult. And I know from playing main tank personally that involves a lot of calling and a lot of being the leader of a team. And to see Zim doing that and also like popping off in game is a deadly combination.
Yeah,
that's something to be respected.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to Kai from Dice Rolls.
Kai. So, Velocity University really struggled a lot against Kai. This man, his Widow is just it's the scariest one out there we've seen so far. It's spooky. This is the reason why we had Brewer go into the back line is because this man alone. This guy clicks our heads after peeking for like 0.2 seconds, and he's a monster, dude. Actual crazy, dude.
Yeah, and then we have McNewbie from Crusaders. So Hybrid Knight, tell us a bit about him.
Speaking of nuts widows, Newbie is one of the best widows that I have seen, and then also the fact that he, unlike a lot of the people that I kind of like went out and contacted, he was someone that actually I found in the looking for players, and it was just pretty sensational that I was able to find, you know, what I consider one of the best hit scans that I've seen, especially recently, just to like, you know, randomly happen across my happenstance. And McNewbie is just a fun guy to be around and a chill presence to have in the team. And he also is nuts. It's like a really good combo.
Yeah, it does great. Not often you find great players from, you know, looking for player posts, but it happens. You find that, you know, diamond in the rough there. definitely kind of what you hit with McNewbie. Moving on to our supports for the Bravo team, we have Moraine from Dice Rolls, been around Owlet for a long time. Don't know since season 1, but definitely was here season 2. So she's been around for a while. Playing Moira, kind of as the name suggests. But yeah.
Also can bring up the, does some casting, has cast a few games, including, just a few Crusaders games, and just, overall seems like a really chill person, seems like a really cool person, and also can back it up in the game,
Yeah, for sure. So really great to see her here. And now we have Pineapple from Bandit Coots. So what can you tell us about Pineapple?
So Pineapple, from what I did in terms of the searching, prefers the Brig, the Mercio, the Lucio, considers a main support. I remember Pineapple kind of like being sort of everywhere when it came to our match against Bandicoots, and was definitely a good part in the fight there. Was definitely one of the players like you had to watch out for, even from the support position, in terms of like something that the team needed to focus.
Yeah, for sure. So now we are going to be moving back over to doing a montage for our Alpha team, it was for our Alpha team plus the one that kind of gets to move up, because they're going to be the runner-up in placement of our overall MVP. But yeah, so let's have our producer Teddy take it away with that.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only
That wall being just what Tempest needed to get that back to Audacity. Both Lucio's down in the team, but Audacity finding 2. Can he find more? Yes, he can. Spoiler alert, people, he can find 3.
Yeah, so it was an amazing montage that Teddy put together right there. Definitely very exciting. And I love to see where the clip of Jonathan taking the pharmacy out of the sky. But yeah, so let us go down the line. We have all 4 Bench Boys nominations here in the Alpha team. Definitely seem to be fan favorites here. So let's get started here with Blackman, who's flexed on both main tank and off tank throughout the season.
Blattman did. He's in our match against Bench Boys. Misfit told me prior, it's gonna be a main tank difference, right? I didn't agree. I was like, no, our tanks are fucking dominant. And no, it wasn't just a main tank difference, dude. Their team was fucking gross, dude. That like we got. I'm throwing my ego out the window. We got rolled, dude. It was disgusting. And Blackman, he was fucking. He was definitely one of the key parts that just like the glue in like in any like arts craft. I don't know. That was a terrible like metaphor, but he brings them all together, and it was a gross game, and he was just super crazy, dude.
Also, you played with him in the coaches game.
Is it you? Any more to add on, Blatt?
No, nothing.
I think that's.
I've said all I needed to say about this disgusting, gross player, dude.
So move on to Paper here from Dice Rolls, who did have a Moira clip in there because Dice Rolls likes to, as their name implies, mix the roles up occasionally. Yeah, so as you know, had a bit of variety in there, but is mainly a tank player, not to be confused with Paper Monk or Paper Sword. So what can you tell us about Paper here? Hibernate.
Oh, okay. I
Either
thought Sloth had his manifesto ready to go. But Paper, pretty good tank player. Played against him, obviously, in the hotly contested. Well, I didn't. The team played against him in a hotly contested Dice Rolls Crusader game, and it was definitely a tough matchup. And part of the problem in the early part of the game was adjusting the tank line to what essentially they were running and what they could do on their Hog Zarya comp. And so that was definitely part of the battle in the early part of the game. And I'm seeing from Milk in the chat that apparently that that Paper has been playing Zen and Scrims. So I have to imagine, pretty scary combo when you have a main tank that can flex, or a tank player in general that can flex into, a high damage support play.
I'm just gonna correct you right here, Hyper Knight.
Okay.
All of these players in the Alpha team aren't just pretty good. They're cracked gods.
Okay.
I see. This is an important distinction.
Yes, not just pretty good.
But yes, moving on to our next DPS Alpha player. We have Audacity from Velocity University.
This 50-50 guy. It's either one game he's Carpe and just does everything, or he's me. We just don't do anything. It's a DPS diff. But no, as y'all saw in the montage, he wanted to showcase, his pretty times, the teabag. Oh, that was a beautiful game. I mean, he when I don't do well, which is like every game, he's there to do well when I'm not. He's like, I wouldn't say the carry, but he's pretty much the carry. I mean, like I don't want to feed the man's ego, but it's just facts. He was another one that moved up from Force up into University. Also co-captain. When I'm not there, he's there. We got this like we're like I'm stuttering again. We're next person. Yeah. Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk from Bench Boys here.
Okay, so Hawk. once again, you saw his montage. You saw his Genji. I have been trying to learn Genji and figure out how to point, click, and slash without like losing my targets like where they are. I've also been watching Hawk. I've just been watching all the Genji players, and I've just been learning so much from him, and it's definitely improving my skill. But am I anywhere near Hawk? That is a hard no, dude. This man is also very cracked. Definitely deserves to be on this alpha team.
Yeah, I mean, coming up from being one of the top DPS players from minors last season, I mean, all the bench boys players were basically from the top 2 minors teams last season. So it's really awesome to see them become top majors players as well and getting these top slots here for MVP. Do you have anything to add on Hawk there, Hyper Knight?
I know that he is a pretty solid DPS player. I think it was him and possibly King. Like there was a brief period where I was kind of jumping from team to team before out while I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure, like, if I recall correctly, Hawk might have tried out with the same team, and I remember him being pretty solid when we played a bit. So, that's definitely what I can offer about that.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job, all the time he's been in Owlet. Moving on to our supports here. We have Jonathan from Bench Boys, known in Pugs as the Feeding Lucio. Is also pretty bloodthirsty Moira. He's not one who really thinks about support as healing. He's like, well, if the enemy team's dead, you guys are alive, so I've done my job. I'm pretty sure that's how he takes his role of main support there. So any additional comments here on Jonathan?
Jonathan was definitely like one of like the contact that we had like contact and like talking with bench boys. And he seems like a pretty chill guy. Played some quick play with him at every here and then on Owlet. Seems like a pretty cool dude.
I just was looking because I honestly I'm gonna be straight up here. I don't know much about a lot of the players in Owlet, right? So I'm just gonna go off of this montage. Did that montage with Jonathan just whipping out the pew pew gun and just going full W key as Mercy? That was like the Mercy duel, asserting the dominance and not even playing support at that point. It's just DPS. Actually gross.
Yeah, we really should be DPS MVP here. But yes, our last support here on the Alpha team is going to be Misfit, also from Bench Boys. Kind of pulled that on. It used to be a flex DPS last season in minors. So kind of changed roles in the off season, and it is now here playing that support for Bench Boys.
The metric man himself.
The 5-head, or sometimes smooth-brained. On Misfit, we don't really need to talk a whole lot about Misfit. Like everyone in the server pretty much knows this guy, either for his smooth brain math, or or just his sometimes good plays. I mean,
I love the pure positivity we have here.
Yeah, like does he even deserve
Nothing
this
but
spot?
positivity.
I don't know, dude. He's definitely he's a great person. Hey, Hyper Knight, you want to take it away? I blanked out.
Okay, yeah. I've done Nest with Misfit a couple of times, and we even last season, we recapped season 3, and then when coming back to Owlet season 3.5, me and Misfit just chatted about the upcoming season for about an hour or so. We just talked back and forth about Overwatch. Definitely someone that enjoys the game, and it's just nice someone else just to talk about things in general. And we joke around, stuff like that, and it's just fun to see that someone has passion for the game of Overwatch and enjoys playing on a team and able to just talk Overwatch about. We do make a lot of jokes about the metric and everything like that. It's good to see someone that does have a passion for the game and is just someone to talk Overwatch with.
Yeah, for sure. So we are now going to get into our role MVPs here on the next slide. See who's going to be number one in each of these roles. And for tank, we are going to have our MVP being Blackman from the Bench Boys. Our runner-up for tank is going to be Paper from Dice Rolls. Our DPS MVP is going to be Audacity from Velocity University, and our runner-up is going to be Kai from Dice Rolls. Support MVP is going to be Misfit from Bench Boys, and our runner-up is Jonathan from Bench Boys. And drumroll for the one we've all been waiting for. As before, it is going to be our Majors overall MVP, going to be getting shown here in a second. Is going to be Hawk from Bench Boys. Definitely an amazing, DPS player. Definitely deserves it. Getting that overall MVP spot. Super hype and excited for him to just be able to come in here and be able to get that MVP position.
Agreed.
But yeah,
man,
so
really deserves it 100%. Don't give it to Audacity. He's not that good. He's not that correct. Yeah. Definitely Hawk.
Yeah.
But
Hawk,
yeah, so
really good player.
Yes, that about wraps it up here for the Majors division. Can I get some parting words from you two here, starting with Hyper Knight?
I think it was a fun overall season. Even if it was a little bit shorter, I think that worked in the season's favor. It wasn't like a long, drawn-out thing. It was just a nice, short, fun season. It was a good time, and I think that even if there are some gripes about where certain players are, that a lot of the players played really well, and that you can make arguments depending on the day. This player should be here. This player should be there. I think there are a lot of good players.
Yeah, and they're all amazing players. That's why they're
in the
here.
Majors. Yeah, there's a lot of good players in Majors, and it's just been a fun season overall.
And as for me, I think what I learned, especially today, was I should probably write something down before I talk, clear my head out a little bit, not doing all that, doing all the stuttering stuff. I did that on purpose. That was the one time I did that on purpose. But not talking about what are we doing? Like farewells, like our goodbyes on
just final thoughts on the awards show and Owlet.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely awards show is a new thing that I've been a part of, not necessarily in it, but being a host. Never done anything like this before in a previous tournaments or anything like that, but definitely will see my team participating again in next season, if there is one, or there probably is one, and also taking first place spot in playoffs, which means we win the whole thing. That's 100% guaranteed.
100%. Lock it in.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush or anything. We're going straight to number one. Going past Odyssey, going past Bench Boys, going past whoever wins out of Crusaders or Dice Rolls. Honestly, probably Dice Rolls gonna take it, but who knows?
Oh, okay.
Just gotta wait and see.
But yeah, so definitely an exciting award show. It's amazing to see, who is able to get those top spots and just really see all the talent that has come out from our Owlet community. And I'm really excited to see how these players carry on into playoffs, the ones that did make it. But yeah, so thank you guys all for joining us for this awards show. Really appreciate you guys coming out. I know it's kind of a popular stream time, so and also shout out to everyone who's going to be watching the VOD back later. But yeah, so thank you guys for being here, and make sure to continue tuning in as we're going to get some of those playoff games broadcast. And I believe we have the Nest is going to be playing for Saturday, which is going to give us a preview into the playoffs if you are interested in that. But yes, that is all we have for you tonight. So thank you guys again for coming out.
Thank you. I'm gonna go get roasted.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stronger.